Well, like this video, I mean, our production company that hired them was called Beneath the Fold Productions. If they just looked at the website, like it's the most ridiculous website. There's things saying like, we've created 5 billion hours of top-notch content. We've won 17 BAFTAs. And like, it's, you know, if they took a moment to look at the website, they would have known that this was all complete rubbish.
Or they just thought that you were really good at what you did.
Yeah, mate. I just fancied you.
Yeah.
You had a very, very, very big video come out, mate.
Yeah, so that all came about really last minute. It's so funny how like YouTube works, or like being creative, I suppose, works, because if you haven't seen, we did this video where we tricked royal experts into commenting on Harry and Meghan's Oprah interview 2 days before it had happened. Mm-hmm. And we'd never planned to do this video, but on Thursday, Archie and I were like, we should definitely do something around Harry and Meghan. Came up with the idea, filmed it Friday morning, edited it on Friday afternoon, and got it up late on Friday night, and it ended up doing really well. So
wait, so how quick was you contacting the people to them responding?
Literally, they responded pretty much straight away. We organised then that day and night to film with them the next day. Filmed, edited, and uploaded all in one day. It was like a blur.
So luckily, it was quite convenient, like timing wise.
Well, yeah, I guess the idea came about because of the fact that like the interview was such big news.
Yeah, but I mean, like them responding to them, Ed, and you're like, great, this kind of like went any faster. Really.
Yeah, we like with all these things, I think there's always so much like luck involved and things going your way, and luckily they did that time around.
Yeah, I always think about your videos. Where does the initial like structure, you know, when you're like, right, Meghan and Harry, we need a video on this. Where does it come from? Where you think, right, and we're gonna prank these people? Where does like the initial thing come from?
It's always so different. Archie and I spend a lot of time just like reading and watching things and chatting over different things, and we'd said for a while royal experts were, that whole week we'd been saying like royal experts are quite interesting people because they're not actually journalists, they're not like news reporters, they're just experts in royals, which is really weird. And you always wonder,
Imagine earning your money. You'd be like, what do you do? I just know about people.
I just know a lot about Meghan.
Yeah, it's a funny way to say that you stalk people, isn't it?
It's a funny way to say unemployed.
But it's also, it's like a hard one to say like, no, you're wrong or you're right, because they're just offering these sort of ludicrous opinions like, oh, they held hands there because of this. So we wondered like, is there a way to prove that a lot of what they say is just made up? And
it reminded me a lot of, you know, like horoscopes. It's so vague that you're like, I kind of see where they're coming from, but at the same time I think it's complete bullshit. It's like so vague that it's like, you can tell Meghan was really whatever they are, just any adjective.
So your interview that you did was with the 4 people, right?
Yes, 4.
Dickie Arbiter,
Victoria Arbiter.
Are they related, by the way?
Ingrid, yeah, it's
Ingrid
his daughter.
Seward.
Ingrid Seward, and hold on,
Richard
Fitzwilliams.
Keep it in the family.
Yeah.
Imagine being a family obsessed with another family. That's a bit weird.
It is a bit odd. But what I wanted to ask is, so how did you come to choose those 4 people, or were they just the 4 most recognised royal experts?
Just a bit of research, and like they seemed to be the first sort of ones that came up and seemed credible. I mean, Dickie Arbiter used to be the Queen's press secretary, so they were quite credible people.
I found it very strange though, because
Palestinians.
No, he's killed them. The thing that I really wanted to like kind of gauge is that how willing were they to come and talk on a topic which they actually didn't know about? Like the video states it was filmed 2 days before the actual interview, and you had a liaison back and forth. But they'd very like, yeah, sure, we'll do it, kind of thing, or was it? Yeah,
they were really. I mean, they got paid, and they were really happy to do it. We did not have to push them or convince them at all.
Do you think it was literally like, did you come with them like with money? We're like, we'll pay you for your time, kind of thing, or was it?
It wasn't even. I don't think the money that like lured them in. They were like, yeah, we're keen. Is there a fee involved? We said there is, and then they were like, great. But it wasn't a lot of money. It was what they would probably normally get paid for doing that kind of work. I don't know where to look when I speak.
I just pick the most attractive person.
Well, that's what we normally tell guests. Look at the person he thinks the most attractive. So obviously you've got your eyes on me, so keep it.
Oh, the table seems better.
It's actually quite the opposite. I have my eyes on you because you make me feel a bit uncomfortable. Just like the look of you.
Right.
Do you know what? I kind of see it.
Thank you. Yeah,
this is
why I lean over this side.
First touch I've had in a while. Thank you.
No, I was saying to you earlier, your accent, I could just stare at you and watch you speak all day.
Oh, thank you.
God, at least buy my drink first, Josh. Fucking hell.
I love your videos, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Amazing.
God, crack up the
Handsome
window,
lad
somebody.
too.
We're just talking about fucking royal press secretary, and these two are just flirting with each other.
Yeah.
Are we able to ask how much they were charging for their time, or is it more of like a private thing?
Yeah, we always try to keep that private, but it was what they would normally charge for that kind of work.
So it's just their rates.
Yeah.
So would you say like we'll match your rates, or was it just like this is our?
We made an offer and they seemed happy with it. We kind of did a bit of research into what those people might get paid.
Oh, okay.
I often think with, obviously Archie's in these videos.
Yeah.
Archie's original thing, was it being a magician?
Yeah, so he still is. Archie Manners, who's my collaborator, partner, his profession is magic, and he is an incredible magician. If you ever get the chance to see it in person, it really is impressive. So
I'll be the judge of that.
Does he help with like the whole creating like an illusion kind of thing? Like, does he take his stuff he learned from his magic into the videos?
100%. I've learned so much from Archie about what we call a dual reality, where there's one thing happening with the person involved in what you're doing, but what's actually happening is something completely different. So that's been a huge thing that's become a big part of our videos, and it's been so interesting to learn.
Yeah, because I remember watching an interview you did, and you were talking about you give every person you prank like a fair chance to actually guess what it could be.
Yeah, well, like this video, I mean, our production company that hired them was called Beneath the Fold Productions. If they just looked at the website, like it's the most ridiculous website. There's things saying like, we've created 5 billion hours of top-notch content. We've won 17 BAFTAs. And like, it's, if they took a moment to look at the website, they would have known that this was all complete
Or
rubbish.
they just thought that you were really good at what you did.
Yeah, mate. Or they just fancied you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have 2 boyfriends here as well.
I'm just creasing at the idea of them. Cam saying that it brings magic into it, as if like they're on FaceTime on Zoom to them guys, and then he's just
Pick a card, any card.
Is this your card?
But it is that like it's that deception and that like not showing people what's actually happening, but distracting them with something else.
I think his voice is quite distracting, because I'm like when we were talking to this, I was like, is that his real voice? It's
That's his.
It's very,
very, very Tory.
Yeah, very
he's
posh.
very well educated. Where is he from?
Archie's from Hampshire originally.
Hampshire.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where's that?
Hampshire.
He's from the Bronx, actually.
Yeah, really from the trash. No, we were saying this downstairs, weren't we? That like, I personally feel that this whole, the whole royal experts that they came about. If you had Lewis Buchan on the phone, it wouldn't have been able to.
Hello.
Like, go ahead. Hi.
Would you like to
in my pyramid scheme?
Would you like to speak about Meghan Markle today?
I'd be like,
I think that's also in relation to the fact I don't think any Scottish person in the
Wants to
country
know.
cares about the fucking royal family.
Yes, for sure.
It definitely helps having Archie do that. He's great on the phone, and his voice sounds really believable and trusting. So
I'd
that
like to
definitely
know
helped.
with your video, like the initial concept. So you said that you had like a couple of ideas that you wanted to do a video around it. So you knew it was coming up. So there's a lot of pressure that you're just like, I have to kind of like deliver a video. But when you watch it, like your videos are usually quite short form, which is great for like audience retention.
Thanks, Johnny.
You know what? It's okay. But the whole concept, it seems like there's so much involved in it, like crammed into 6 minutes. How on earth do you literally sit there and you're like, you know what? The way that we're going to get a concept is to literally trick royal experts about that. Well, please, like how? How do you do that?
Well, it's weird because for the last few months we've been like feeling the pressure quite a bit because we haven't really uploaded, and we've been like racking our brains trying to come up with so many like detailed, interesting things, and we could do this and we could do that, and we are working on a couple of other videos and they're cool, but this video just all came about within 2 days, which is so strange. I think it was helped largely because that interview was such a huge topic, so it was a trend, so we jumped on a trend, I suppose, and then we answered it. What we always try and do in our videos is answer some sort of question. So we answered a question you might ask yourself, which is, do royal experts actually know what they're talking about? And that video, I suppose, answered that question for people.
Sorry, you go.
How hard was this video compared to other ones you've done to pull off?
It
Seemed pretty easy compared to the others.
yeah, I mean, by hard,
No, but I mean, like he said,
You're a fucking piece of piss.
no, Don't take the piss. He said himself that they responded straight away. They filmed it the next day, edited it the next day. So obviously it's a lot quicker than
to be
any
fair,
of these other
like,
videos.
if it all comes together, then yeah. But I personally think that like if you literally type in like Meghan interview, I haven't watched it yet. I wanted to watch it yesterday, but you have to VPN CBS.
I just seen some clips.
But yeah, of course you can see clips, but the whole thing's a 2 hour thing. So I'd actually like
2
to watch
hours?
it. 2 hour interview.
2 hours.
with
Fuck
Oprah.
me.
Yeah. So
Don't say that. People click off the fucking podcast.
Fuck me, Meghan Markle. Fuck me.
Oh, what? What I find like absurd is that like it's a 2 hour thing, and they've managed to just happily talk on a whole topic.
Yeah.
You know what I found absurd? I feel like you did this so that, to touch on what you said about like it being easy. It's like most of the videos which are out there online are like reaction videos, like to it, like Jimmy Kimmel, like James Corden, all that kind of stuff.
Those amateurs.
Obviously, those fucking. But the thing that you did was that you kind of like answered a question kind of thing about what is it, which there isn't a video like that really out there right now, which I think is probably attributing why it did quite well.
I think so, yeah. And we never knew, like honestly at the time of the upload, we were like, is this good, is this bad? We had no idea. And then it got received really well. So that was great. But in terms of how hard it was to do, I mean, we've I suppose done these kind of videos quite a lot together, so we know what we're doing to an extent when we do them. It was really hard work. It was like 2 days of not really sleeping much and just like doing everything we could, because we knew the earlier the video came out, the more effective it was. Like the fact that the video came out 2 days before their interview actually came out, I think made it more interesting.